Hi there, welcome to part 2 of the water pump replacement video. It's Sunday morning of the bank holiday, so I'm a bit of a day ahead of schedule. I managed to I managed to get a couple of 3 hours spare this morning, so I'm going to make a start on the refit. Right, a couple of things. Your gasket comes in a packet joined up like that. You need to cut those 3 lugs. There's 1, 2 and 3. Just cut them off. So this little piece of gasket, keep it, but you don't actually need it on this occasion. So that leaves you with your water pump gasket. New water pump in place there, or that's the new one. Lovely jubbly. This gasket slots, it can only go on one way, so you can't put it round the wrong way. And basically you'll notice on your pump you've got 2 dowels, one here and one here. Now all you need to do is put your gasket over that and gently, can't show you that for a second, but gently tease it on over those 2. It's a nice snug fit. Squeeze it on over those 2 dowels and then you'll see that the gasket is held nicely in situ, which is going to be a big help when you come to refit it, because there is so little space between the back of the pump and that plate. And that's that. In your pack with your water pump, you should get 6 new bolts, and you will notice that 2, did I say 6? 7 new bolts. All right, goodness grief, Andy, I know it's Sunday, but give it a rest. Right, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Yeah, okay, we're happy with that. Right, let's have a look. 7 new bolts. You'll notice out of the 7 that 2 of them have a longer shank on the top than the other ones, and they are slightly longer in length. The 2 longer bolts, they fit in the water pump with the 2 dowels on them. Okay, so that'll be that one there and that one there. You can see the dowels poking through. They're going to locate the pump onto the engine block. All right, so technically when the pump's fitted, it'll be fitted that way. So it's going to be the 3 o'clock and the 8 o'clock bolt that are the long ones of the 7. The other 5 are all the same size. Right, I've cleaned up the face of the water pump on the block. Let's go and take a quick look, and then we're going to start trying to refit that pump. Ooh. Right, while I was in here, I've had a little clean up of the inlets and the faces around the block, just to give it a little bit of a degrease. These pulleys here, tensioner pulley there, and I've got one removed because it's just easier, gives me a bit more space down there. Going to be replaced as well, along with a new belt. So I've been down there with a little bit of emery cloth and gone round the outer seal just to clean off any debris. I've done the same on the thermostat housing as well, because obviously that's going to get a new gasket when that's replaced. So let's set you up and we will attempt to refit the water pump. Just a little heads up, that bolt you can see sticking out there, the 3 o'clock one, That is one of the long ones. I used a pair of long nose pliers and held it by the shank to get that in there, because otherwise you are just going to keep dropping it out. It's a nightmare, that one. That's the one that took me forever to get out in the first place. But take your time with it. A long nose pair of pliers allows you to locate it into the pump, and the rest of it you got to do nice and gently by hand. Okay, pump is all bolted in. That 3 o'clock one was a bit of a nightmare. They all went in a lot easier than they came out. I've got to say, putting it back's been a lot easier than coming out. Something else I think as well, the face on the new water pump, this proud piece here, I think is slightly thinner in terms of shorter length than the original one, because the gap between the back plate and the water pump now is much bigger, although I haven't put the plate back yet, which has obviously eased refitting. So it did say on there that it was better than original. It may well be. Now, I used one of those angly drives, but the only way I could tighten that 3 o'clock one up was by taping it up into that position and using it like a spanner. I was able to get a 10mm ring, rotating it with that end and that end, got a good few turns on it. I basically got it in there finger tight before I had to start tightening it up. They're all done. I'm going to put the thermostat housing back now, and then we can look at getting the belt back in there and getting the plate done. Right, ironically I've broken the camera mount trying to show you putting the pump back, but here's the new thermostat housing gasket which we're going to put in place. You'll notice I didn't use any kind of sealant on that gasket. It doesn't recommend it anyway, and they have a lip that runs all the way around the edge, a little bit like this one. You can just about make that raised lip up, and that's the lip that crushes down when the two faces meet and are tightened up. So let's put the thermostat back. Okay, back underneath the car, we're all fitted under here. Thermostat housing back with a new gasket. Be very careful putting these bolts back. You've got 4 of them. There's one right at the very top behind this black pipe. It's very easy to cross thread that. You think it's located and it hasn't. Make sure that you put the bolts in and make sure it's just loose so you can maneuver it about a little bit. I'd even say put one in the bottom and go for that top one next, while you've got total flexibility with it. I had a little issue with it. I thought it had located and it hadn't, so I had to take it all out, and I ran a tap down it just to make sure the thread was okay, but it's all good now. The 2 bolts there and there, back in situ, holding that metal pipe. The exhaust bracket bolt is back in, and the water pipe connected up to the new water pump. That's the fella. So yeah, all we've got to do now is bring the back plate back to where it should be, which is just a case of removing that wedge and the one up the top, and do the tensioners. So hopefully underneath, and then we can put some water in it and at least see, fingers crossed, it's not gonna leak. Okay, let's crack on with the tensioners. We've got pulley 1, pulley 2, which is currently removed, and this is the tensioner. To remove that, you need a 15mm. It could be 15mm or it could be 16mm. Interestingly enough, the new one is a 16mm bolt. This one is a 15. Locate it on the nut behind, and then with your 24 on the front, holding it. Oh, that is tight in there. finally feel the torque coming off it. Like I say, I want to remove this and keep it intact, so I can make sure that I get the relevant spacers. Oh yeah, you don't know how good that feels, I can tell you. Spanner, and then I'm just gonna undo that, bring the whole lot forwards, washer and all. Oh, there's an interesting factor. I'm gonna have to somehow move that. How the hell am I gonna get that out of there? Unless I use the same stuff. Okay, so that's the assembly. That's the front and that's the back. There's a little spacer, big spacer on the back like that. That belongs on there like that. And then the front is basically that. It's a long threaded nut that goes through to bearing. Okay. Right, here we are with the new tensioner pulley assembled. I am going to go against the grain here and use the same bolt. The threads are all alike. I'm going to put a little bit of thread lock on there, because that bolt will not come back through there without probably removing the power steering pump. Might be wrong, but there's a lot more to do there, and I honestly don't have the time on this occasion, so I'm going to use the same bolt, cleaned it up a little bit with thread lock and the spacer, and basically I'm going to slide it over. Just didn't want that thread lock dropping on there. It's the same thread, fortunately. So I'm still with my 15 and the 24. Okay, we're still at it, but it's nearly there, I think. Tell you something, that was now, whether that's got to be torqued or not, I don't know, but I have no intentions of torquing it, but I will check it again. That's tight. Now for the very time I want the spanner off, it doesn't want to come off. Yeah, like I say, that this piece behind the tensioner, anyway, that is perfectly in flush line with the power steering pulley, and there's no slack in it, and it's spinning nice and freely. Okay, on to the next one. Yeah, just put a little bit of grease inside the covers, you know, these little covers here. You know, just to keep it all running freely. Right, let's put these two back together. And then we can put the belt on. And I think I'm going to have to leave it at that for today. I've gone over my time already. But at least I've got an easy morning tomorrow and I haven't got to waste my entire bank holiday. Well, let's put it this way. It's not a waste, is it? But they all feel lovely jubbly. Right. Watermelon sugar on a summer evening. Right. No charging for the singing, all right? I've got some mates coming around this afternoon to talk about the Scotland trip on the 18th. And I'm supposed to be there at 5. Got no idea what the time is, but still. It's all good to me. You can see why they don't give you that bolt to go with that pulley. You'd need a box twice the size. Beautiful. Okay, let's see if we can get the belt on. Okay, new belt back in place. I couldn't show you it, it's just a nightmare. I needed 3 hands again and there just wasn't the room to set it up. But my suggestion is that if you take your belt over, this is your tensioner one, the one you're going to put your socket on. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to put your socket, your 24 on there. Okay, take your belt over that tensioner, bring it round, bring it up, and then you can either put it over that one and then by adding the pressure, but that's the belt on. It's sitting in all its correct grooves, it's round the right way. I haven't spun it up yet, but I'm going to put the water in it now and then leave it until tomorrow when I shall finish off that back plate, namely this piece here, and then we'll check it for leaks. Right, catch up with you in the morning. It'll be back in a jiff. Okay, job done, all done and dusted. Give you a little walk over just to give you an idea of where we're at. I'm going to leave it for the rest of the day. I did say I was going to leave it earlier, but I've just, you know how it is, you're like growling at the bits, etc. Right, let's flip you over. Okay, belt in. As you've probably already seen, nice new shiny water pump. Okay, and you will notice that the reservoir is currently full up with fluid, and that is because I got back all the fluid that was in my drum, roughly 6 litres of it, all barring that bit at the bottom which I can't get out. Now the bottle's showing full. I must have lost probably 1 litre or so while just drips and stuff like that, but I'm going to leave some towel underneath it, and I haven't run it up yet. I've given all the pipes a squeeze, etc., and they've all got water in them, so I'm thinking and hoping that I've got away with the mass job of bleeding up. You can just make out that new pump in there. I definitely think they have modified this water pump and they have made the cone slightly smaller in length or width, so that there's a lot more room behind that plate to get it out. I have still got about 4 mil to close up, which I'll do tomorrow, tightening up this bolt here that one there, and these little ones in here. But that's it for now. Oh, I know what I was going to do. See how all that rubbish paint came off my exhaust? It stayed on the mufflers. This is the stuff I used. It's absolute crap. Don't bother with it. There it is. I think it's on. I think I might have bought it on eBay. Absolute rubbish. Wouldn't ever touch it again with a barge pole. So there you go. Extremely high temperature paint. My arse. Anyway, right. And I cleaned that pipe right off. So, like I say, it's stuck to the mufflers, but not to the cats, because it can't stand the heat, basically. Right, so that's where we're at for tomorrow. We'll put the airbox back. I'm hoping not to find any drips in the morning, and then we'll check the final bleed, and then give it a little road test. So, just a quick recap. I think I can definitely say that jacking the car up, getting that rear end up in the air and leaving the front on the floor definitely saved me a massive drain down without a shadow of a doubt. So I'm really, really pleased with that. Something else I thought about as well is the drag. This pump is so tight. I say that you've got that in it and then it locks off. And I can't rub my finger, I can't push it. There it goes, it frees up. But if you think that must have been causing a lot of extra drag on the engine, probably costing me a little bit of MPG. So it'll be interesting to see if I can get my 29.3, I think it was, that I was achieving on Cornwall. See if I can get that up a little bit higher, a little notch higher, because this is tight, and I mean tight. But anyway, water pump done, pulleys done, new belt, well happy. Tomorrow, before I post the video, I'm just gonna check for leaks, check the fluid level again, get the box back in, the air box back in, and I will also show you on video how I got the damn car up there in the first place. But yeah, I'm glad I came down now. I was getting a bit stressed out because the pulleys didn't want to, that tensioner pulley did not want to come out, and I know I've used the old bolt. Everything's the same, it's the same tensioner predominantly. That bolt, I'd have to look into that, and I wasn't in the right frame of mind to remove the tensioner body from behind. It's bolted round the back of the alternator, the power steering pump. Wasn't in the frame of mind to go down that route. But I've put a bit of Loctite on everything, so it should all stay in place. And I'm quite meticulous in the fact that when I come to service the car, which will be due after Scotland, which is the 18th, 19th, I will service the car and I will check everything over. I check everything over probably 4 or 5 times a year, just because I can't help myself. Anyway, bye for now. We'll check it out tomorrow, give it a run up and a road test, and call it a day. So sleep well, and I'll catch you in the morning. Morning YouTube, welcome to the final part. Every time I start doing this, someone fires up a strimmer. Take 2. Good morning. It's been quiet for a few minutes now. Morning YouTube, welcome to the second part of the final part of this part of the end of the water pump and pulley scenario. I have bolted up the back plate, which was all that was left to be done. I had no water leaks overnight, so that's all good. Now I'm going to just run through and show you the parts one more time quickly, and then I will show you how I got the car up in the air, and I shall then drop it down on the floor. Okay, just some of the bits that we used. Obviously we replaced the water pump, the 3 pulleys. I did notice on looking at these how rusty and corroded the spacers were inside. That won't have been detrimental to it because it shouldn't be turning inside there anyway, but nevertheless, that's the old belt, which is perfectly all right, and I shall keep that and carry that as a spare with a 24mm socket so that I can release that tension. 10mm spanners, a set of those little babies, and of course the E10 E14, very handy. Long nose pliers, that lovely little elbow joint which does the trick amazingly. I also noticed that I had both my number plate lights are out. So I purchased a new set. I put LED fittings inside the originals, and they just don't seem to last. I don't know why, but they both went. I would have been running around on side lights pretty much all the time while I was away in Cornwall. So I've put in a new set of LED actual sealed units, so fingers crossed they'll work a bit better. Final look in the back end of the business end of the car. I've had a little clean up, as you're already aware. We are all bolted up. You will see down there now that the back plate is indeed nice and tight up against the fittings, and that's about it for there. And underneath, all nice and dry around that water pump area and all the fittings. Still haven't fired it up yet, but I didn't want to do it while it was up in the air, just in case I had an uneven oil level laying in the sump. Right, I've super glued my stand together for my phone. This is the best I can do for you. So basically we've got the trolley jack supporting the weight of the engine but not lifting the car, and the QuickJack is on its first ratchet lock off. So what I'm going to try and do now, if I can find the controller, is raise the car a little bit. It's now off the pickup on the lock. I'm just going to stick my broom under there. Remove the trolley jack. And lower the car. Just bearing in mind she's going to sit skew if and come down towards me. Here we go. Oh no, she's not. She's going to go the other way, isn't she? I've done this before, sideways, with both jacks, and the drag is quite extensive because the tyres grip on the ground till the last minute and pull the car, but this seems to be going down okay. I'm going to go and check the other side just to make sure we've still got good clearance. It actually looks like it's going to come down in exactly the same position as it did before, which is a bonus. Very slow, I've got to say. They don't normally drop that slowly. And the jack is on the floor. Job done. Now let's fit the airbox back, I think. Airbox replaced, all cleaned up as well. MAF airflow reconnected, the little vacuum pipe down at the bottom, and this one here which clips in on the spring. You've got a little pipe there, part of the aircon, that locks into the back of, you might be able to just see the lug, or can you? Yeah, it's just down the bottom there, right in the middle. That holds that pipe there, and then you clip your oil filler back in and tighten up your Jubilee clip. That's all good. We're ready to fire it up. Oh, these are tight at the moment and closed. Okay, inside the car, I want to do one or two things. I'm going to turn the ignition on and just check my oil level, because I haven't checked it properly after it's standing. Oh, it's just saying consider remaining fuel, isn't it? Ah, there you go. Now I haven't put any oil in that. That's a full drain down. That's the car after lying around for a week without being used. Now, as part of the bleed, or to help the bleed, what we want to do is increase the temperature to high. Okay, which brings the fan into play, and then press your clutch and start the car. Let's go and take a look at the back and see what's going on with the water system. Starting to feel a little bit of warmth through the heater vents, which is a good sign. I'm going to take it around the block for a little run and see how we go. I'm still convinced it needs another litre or two, but the bottle's still showing absolutely full to the brim. So we shall see how we go. Let's take it around the block. Well, there's not a lot of point in videoing too much because I've got the fans going. We're up to temperature, 80 degrees, oil's up to 90, and everything seems to be lovely. Oh, that's a red light. I've got a red exclamation mark up on the dash, but that's because it's saying check my remaining fuel. I put 30 quid in it. It was on the red, or the light was on, and I put 30 quid in it before I put it in the garage to clean it up the other week, and it's not enough for mine to lift that gauge up and register the fuel. So I know I'm not out of fuel, but I'm probably lowish. But the heater's blowing out, it's like an oven in here, so I'm well pleased with that. I couldn't get over actually on the idle how much quieter it was underneath the bonnet or the boot or the whatever it's called, but the back bit. So yeah, happy days. I think we're there. I'm going to try and get a couple more little runs out on it, and then I'll give you some details about the plans for Scotland, which we booked up last night. The mates came round and we sat there and booked a few hotels. Land's End was one of them, and Stirling's another for the first stop. Anyway, that's for another video. I'm going to get it back to the workshop and we'll wrap this one up. Okay, I've just checked the water level again after the return of the little road test. There was a bit of pressure in there. This valve on top will rise of its own accord when the pressure builds up. It's down, it's fine now. There's a little bit more room in there, but not a huge amount. So I'm going to leave it to cool down and stand for a day or two, and then top it up again. But I still think I need to get another litre or so in there, so I'll keep an eye on that. But the heater's working fine, temperature ran normal, oil temperature was normal, and everything inside lovely. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot quieter than it was before. So I think combined with, I had one noisy-ish pulley and that water pump, and the engine seems to feel a bit smoother. So whether that was creating a little bit of uneven load from time to time on idle, don't know, but still. Definitely think that the jacking the rear up has paid off dividends. So if you're planning on doing something on the business end of the car, but and you need to take a water pipe off or something, but you don't want to drain your whole system down, that worked perfectly. Get the rear up as high as you possibly can. And remember, when you do put the water back in it and when you do fire it up for the first time, make sure that your heater is on full and the fan's on full. Just helps those valves in the matrix open up and allow it to feed. Oh, I hope that video has been of use to you. Like I say, it's a little bit fiddly and time consuming, but like I say, it's the first water pump I've ever done on a 997. And I'm well pleased with the results. I've got no leaks, everything's running nice and smoothly. If you're worried about doing it yourself, don't be. The most important thing is obviously some of the little gadgets and tools that you might need to make access that little bit more easier. But you can do it. I can do it, and I'm nothing special, so I'm sure you can do it too. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. There'll be a couple of videos coming up prior to Scotland, which is in about 2 weeks' time. So I will catch up with you then. Thanks for watching. All those new subscribers, again, big thumbs up to you. Thank you for your support and your comments as well. And if you're reasonably local and you need a bit of help, then I've got bits and pieces. I might be able to help you out. You never do know. You can always email me on andy454@hotmail.co.uk, and I'll certainly get back in touch with you and we'll see what we can do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already done it. And of course, give us your feedback. Thanks for watching. I'm near on 200 subscribers, so I'm thinking when I get over that 200 mark, I might do something a little bit special. Thank you. Take care. Bye for now. Get your fingers out of the way and bye.